Hello, this is the second lab demo. In this lab, we will create a beautiful architecture model. And we will have windows, doors, and curtain walls in this model. So first, make sure you have downloaded the base model. The base model provides all levels, grids, and walls. So let's start with adding columns. In the last demo, we have learned how to add grids to our building model. So now we can use them to locate our columns. Okay, first, click the columns tool under the architecture model and select the columns architectural. Okay, now we are happy with the rectangular column, but keep in mind on checking other properties in the bar chart or the properties palette. And here 2FSL is the means the second floor for the structural model. So in this lab, we will use it as our top constraint of the groups of the columns. So we are good with it. And another one we need to notice is that the moves with grids is selected. So this means our columns, if we move the grids, if our columns are located on the grids and we move our grid, the columns will be moved together. I will show example. For example, we have two columns on the X1 grids, and the moves with grids are selected. And if we move this grid, for example, you will notice that these two columns will be moved with this X1 grid. So in practice, it's very useful when you want to change your design, the dimension of the building. You don't need to move the columns one by one. You can change them in a batch. For example, if two columns are on the same grids, like the example I just show you, you can move them in a batch. So now let's go back to our lab assignment. We are going to place columns on these grid intersections. So let's go back to the architecture tab column tool and place columns on these intersections. Okay, after that, we can go to the 3D view to check our model. Make sure there's no gap between the walls and the columns. Okay, that's our first task, adding columns. Let's pause for a few seconds and you can click the stop button and take a practice. Okay, so let's move on to the next task, create floors. So floor is one of the sketch-based elements in Revit, and different from elements we've created so far, such as walls and columns. They just require one click or two. But for floors, we are going to do more than 2 clicks to indicate the shape of the floors. So now you can go to the first floor plan and click the floor tool under the architectural model. Once you click the floor tool, you will get into the sketch mode. So you will find everything is grayed out in a sketch mode. And escape key cannot get you out of this mode. But don't be panicked in this situation. You can click these two buttons to get out of this mode. Or you can click the check mark to confirm your sketch, or you can cancel this draft. So let's start sketch the boundary of your floors. You can use any of these tools to indicate the shape of your floors. So for example, for the first floor, the shape of the floor is just a rectangle. So I can use the rectangle shape to draw this floor quickly. Okay. And for the second floor, so the shape of the floor is like this. And we can use another tool, use the lines to sketch this floor. And for the roof floor, we use another tool. Let's click floor tool, and we get into the sketch mode. And we choose the pick walls. So you can automatically pick the boundaries of the walls. And here, I don't want this line, but this, so I can use the break tool to split these elements. And remove this segment. Click OK. And you notice that the floors and the walls are overlapped. So I would like to join this to geometry. So I click yes. And then you can check your model in 3D view. Okay, let's pause for a few seconds and you can take a practice about adding floors. Okay, next we are going to add stairs and a ramp. So creating stairs and a ramp are more complicated because we need to pay more attention to their dimensions, such as the height of the risers, stride depth, and the run width. So we define the run width as 7 feet in this line, and the drop depth as the 2 feet, and the location line is right. So let's go to the stairs tool. Go to the first floor plan, and here we choose our base constraint as 1 FL, and the top level is 2 FL. FL. And we change our actual tour depth as 2 feet. And the location line is the right side of this run. And the actual run width is 7 feet. Now we begin to draw our stairs. And in this lab, the stairs will have 22 risers. So you can compute the length of each run. And then notice that you need to adjust the landing. Notice that there's no gap between the landing and the walls. And in this lab, we don't use the railing, so we choose none. Click OK. Also, same as the floors, we click the check mark to confirm our sketch. And then we check our model in 3D view. And now you can see the stairs is the first floor and the second floor. And then we will create a ramp to connect the second floor and the roof floor. So we go back to the second floor floor plan and choose the ramp tool. Let's check the dimensions for the ramp. Okay, for the ramp, we first need to edit its maximum slope to 3. And then we draw the boundary lines. And in the lab instruction, you can see the dimensions of the boundary lines. And also pay attention to the top and the base constraints. We change the top constraint as RFL. Click Apply. And then we draw the boundary of the ramp. The width of the ramp is 7 feet. Then we draw 2 risers. Oh, we missed another 2 risers here. Okay. And for the ramp, we don't want the railings. But I forgot to set the railings as none, so I plan to delete it directly. Okay. So notice that there's a gap between the ramp and the floors. So maybe my floor is not correct. So I go back and change the boundary of my floor to make them connected. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, now let's pause for a few seconds and you can take a practice about adding stairs and ramp. Okay, our last task is adding windows and doors. So now we don't have this type of window in current template, so we are going to load new families. So it happens a lot when you are not satisfied with the type of the windows and doors that system provided. You may want some beautiful windows, or the owner wants some specific types and the manufacturer. So in this situation, you can download the families from the website or even customize your own families. In this class, we will not go depth into customizing families. We are going to load some families not included in this template. But there are also many other families provided by Revit, so we can play with them. So how to load families? Go to the Insert tab, click Load Family. And now you can see many building elements. Let's go to the Windows and select the Windows sliding double and select the dimension we want, 60 multiply 48. And then go to the first floor plan. And you can see we have 8 windows on the first floor. And also the dimension shown in this picture. Click the window tool. And notice that sometimes you can't make the dimension, like the distance between these two walls correctly, so you can put the window first and then correct it. Okay, you may notice that the orientation of the windows are not consistent. Sometimes it happens sometimes, so we need to change the window's orientation when it's not correct. You can click these arrows to flip the window faces. Okay, now we have windows on the first floor. And then we have 42 windows on the second floor. Let's go to the second floor floor plan and choose window tool and place window here. Okay, now we have 13 windows on this wall, and you can check this picture, and you may notice that these windows and this window are symmetric with the diagonal of this building, and these windows and these windows are symmetric with the center line. And using this method, we can quickly draw the windows on these two walls. Let's use the mirror tool. First, select the windows on this wall and click this mirror draw axis. Draw this diagonal line. Now you can see this the windows on this wall are quickly drawn. And using this method, we can sketch windows on this wall. Now, I have showed you the ways how to place windows and in this building. And now let's pause for a few seconds, and you can take a practice. Okay, let's move on to the next task. Insert doors. Notice that in the lab instruction, we have doors on the first and the second floor. Okay, let's go to the first floor plan. And this is our door tab. Let's select the door tool and find we don't have this double flush door, so we need to load family first, like Windows. Our door tab is door double glass. And the dimension is 68 multiply 80. This one. Now we can place windows. Place doors. And also pay attention to the door orientation. For the second floor, we have 2 doors like this. Select Door tool under Architecture tab. Okay, now we finish adding doors. Let's go to the 3D view to check our windows and doors. Okay, let's pause for a few seconds, and the next task is adding curtain walls. Okay, let's go back to our lab. So adding curtain walls is the most complicated in this lab. Curtain wall is a kind of complex walls. So it includes curtain, grills, mullions, and panels. So the relationship among curtain grills, mullions, and panels is the curtain grid is used to separate the curtain walls into multiple panels, and they are also reference lines to locate mullions. So in this lab, we want to place 2 curtain walls on the first floor as the storefront. So let's go to the first floor plan and place these 2 curtain walls. Here, I already loaded this storefront curtain wall here. If you can't find it, you need to follow the same procedure as the windows and doors to insert. In the Insert tab, you can click the Load Family and load this type of curtain wall. And now we click the curtain wall storefront, and then we need to adjust the base constraint and the top constraint of the curtain walls. So for the top constraint, we use 2FSL. Click Apply. And then we place curtain walls here. And in the 3D view, you can see curtain walls here. And this white is the mullions, and you can see this mullion. And the apparent one is curtain panel. And once I remove this mullion, you can see the curtain grid. This is the curtain grid. And the mullions can only place on the curtain grid. And the curtain grid can also separate the curtain panels. Now these are 2 curtain panels. So our next task is to adding the curtain doors. So the curtain door is a little different from other doors. So we need to change the type of the curtain wall to a curtain door, not to place another door on it. So now I'll show you the procedure to add curtain doors. So the first step is to remove the mullion. So select this mullion. And if it's locked, you need to first unlock it and delete it. And then we need to change a panel into a curtain door. So we need to first combine these two curtain panels. So we need to remove this curtain grid. You may notice that the curtain grid is locked. We need first unlock it and click the Add Remove Segments and select this curtain grid again. And now you can see the dashed line in the center of this curtain panel. And also remember to remove these marlins. These two marlins. Okay. Oh, it's locked. So I first unlock it and then I can delete it. So now I'll show you how to select this panel. You first right click this curtain wall and select panels on host and uncloud this panel. Select this panel. And now you may notice that this curtain panel selected. And then change this panel into a curtain door. And we can't find the curtain door in this family. And so we need to load families first. Click Insert, Load Family. And you can see in the doors families, there's a curtain wall double storefront. We will load this family. Click Open. And now we select this panel again and change it into the curtain wall double storefront. Now you find this curtain panel will be changed into a curtain wall door. And we will do the same thing to this side of to this curtain wall. Select this panel marlin and unlock it. Delete it. Okay, now we have finished adding curtain doors, and there's some handles on this door, but in this visualizations settings, we can't see the handles. If you want to see the details of these curtain doors, you can set the detail level to fine, and you can see the handles here. And this is our final output of this architecture model. Let's check this model with the model in our lab instruction. Okay, it looks fine. Okay, thank you for listening. Have a good time.